Okay, so now let's get finally started with the HTML part.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
Okay, so now HTML was particularly a very important reason in choosing TensorFlow.js, and that is because it makes the displaying of the output very easy. So you can build good interfaces by using HTML relatively in less amount of time as compared to something which you would have to natively do by using Python. Okay, so suppose you have created an awesome machine learning project and then you finally want to display some output on the screen in a good format, then Python can very well do it, but it will be a very much tedious process, and for the purpose of this particular course, I suppose that it will take your attention away from the core part which we want to explore, which is machine learning. Okay, so later on we can maybe add the customization and transfer all our projects onto a Python package, and then you can very well customize the output. But for now, let's start working on HTML. Okay, so now let's initialize an empty folder, and in this empty folder I have basically opened this folder in Sublime Text. You can use any text editor that you want, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day we are going to run all of our HTML file onto a browser, so it doesn't matter which text editor you are using to actually write in the text into the file. So I'm using Sublime over here. You can use Atom, you can use Visual Studio Code, or you can even simply use a notepad. Okay, so now over here I have a folder called basics of JS, and over here let's create a new file and let's save this file first. And then after saving this file, let's give it a name of index.html. Okay, so now inside our index.html we have to give an entry point to our app, and to do that we add in the HTML boilerplate. Okay, so to do that in Sublime Text you have a very good shortcut. So you just type in HTML and you press the tab key. So now as you can see, we have our doc type HTML over here, then we have the head, then we have the body, and then we finally have the closing HTML tag. Okay, so now over here the doc type HTML basically tells that this is a backward compatible HTML5 document. Okay, then you have the head, the HTML starting and the closing tag over here, and then you have the head tag. The head tag is something which is executed before the page starts loading, the body starts loading. So if you are on a Google Chrome page and if you see text written on a tab, then that is basically a text inside the title tag. So over here inside title, let's add in my first page, and then inside the head tag basically you load scripts or supporting files which you need for your project before it starts loading. So any of your CSS, which is a style sheet which is added onto an HTML, can be loaded over here in the head tag, so that it is included before the entire page starts loading. And then once you have the individual elements being popped up onto the page, then each of those elements are given style appropriately. Otherwise it is just redundant work to pop all the elements and then finally give the style to all of them. Okay, so then we have the body tag. This is where all of your main HTML content will go, and then after the body tag you have the closing HTML tag. Okay, so a good practice is basically adding the JavaScript at the very last line above your closing body tag, so that after you have the entire page loaded, then you are basically loading the JavaScript file, because sometimes JavaScript can be very heavy for the browser. For instance, in this particular course we'll be doing TensorFlow.js, which particularly requires a lot of processing, and you don't want to load the JavaScript file over here, because if you load the JavaScript file over here, then essentially until this particular line is executed, the code will not proceed ahead. So essentially you will have a lot of time where the screen is completely blank. So instead you should have all of the body above your loading of your JavaScript file. Okay, so now to do that, let's first type in an h1, so h1 and tab, and inside h1 let's basically give it the same thing, my first page. Let's save this, and over here we have our index.html file. So let's open this with Google Chrome. Okay, so now as you can see we have my first page over here, and then you also have the my first page displaying onto the tab, and that is because of the title word. Okay, so now next up we have to create a JavaScript file. Okay, so a JavaScript file basically acts like the brain of your project. So basically it contains all of the HTML and then it adds some processing onto it. So you can specify some functions inside JavaScript, or if you want to basically add any logic to your front end or HTML and JavaScript, then it is done inside the JavaScript. So for instance, if you have a button and after the user clicks on that button, a particular thing happens, and all that is registered inside, is written inside JavaScript, and then after the loading of the JavaScript file, it basically is displayed on the page. Okay, so now over here let's load a JavaScript file. So for that, first of all we have to create a new JavaScript file. So over here again in basics of JS, let's create a new file. Let's save this first. Let's call this script.js. JS stands for JavaScript, so any JavaScript file will end with a .js extension. Okay, so then inside script.js, currently let's just display an alert on the page. Okay, so let's type in alert over here, and inside alert let's say hello world. Okay, and then now let's go to the index.html, and now essentially what we have to do is we have to link our JavaScript file over here so that once we reload the page we can see the outcome. Okay, so to do that let's add a script tag over here. So script and then tab. Okay, so now over here you have script type is equal to text/JavaScript, and then after this by giving a space let's type in source and src, which is all we have to do is give the name of our JavaScript file. So in this case it is script.js. Okay, and now let's save this file. So let's go on the script.js file. Let's save it as well. And now as we go on our browser, now if we refresh it, we get an alert which says hello world, and this is basically how the alert function works in JavaScript, where you have a pop-up displaying on the browser which says hello world essentially. Okay, so now I would like to show you all another way of basically adding in JavaScript code onto your HTML file. And to do that, if you don't want to make a completely new script.js file, so let's first copy this code from here. So over here, if you don't want to create a completely new file, so let's just remove this. And now over here basically inside the script tag, so inside script type is equal to text/JavaScript, and then inside those tags you can start simply writing JavaScript code. Okay, so let's paste it over here. Let's save this, and now if we refresh we should get the same result again. Okay, so we are getting the same hello world alert again, and this is particularly important if you just have simple 1 or 2 lines of script required in your app. So then you don't need to create a completely new file, you can simply add it on to your HTML file. But instead, if you want to have a large JavaScript file which has a whole lot of code added inside of it, then adding it onto a separate file is particularly important and even beneficial if you are using something like Git as a version control system, which can basically restore your file back to a particular state where it was. And yes, that's pretty much it for the basics getting started with HTML and JavaScript. So in this particular lecture we reviewed why HTML is important in our particular use case of TensorFlow.js. Then we basically added in a JavaScript file, then we linked that JavaScript file to HTML, and then we finally added in an alert onto the JavaScript file, and that's how we can see the alert displaying on the screen.